from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster that's here to keep you company, to be a friendly voice in the deep, dark night, to be your boar friend, your boar bud. I'll talk more about that. But if you have ever had trouble sleeping, right? Not just trouble sleeping, but having some ease and comfort at bedtime or before bedtime, thinking about bedtime, or in the middle of the night, something that feels friendly, because it doesn't always feel that way to me. Even like I'm pretty good at being kind to myself during the day, but things just take on a different tone for me. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know where. I didn't get a good night's sleep last night, but I don't know if this is where that's coming from. But sometimes I got to be a little bit serious because I care so much about making this podcast and getting into this silly place. But letting you know, if you feel that way, I'm here to try to help you if you're new or you're a regular listener. Because I think it's important to respect that that is tough. And it may not be that for you, but I'm really glad you're here if you're new or you're a regular listener. I'm so glad you're back. And then I could try to help you out just by being a friendly, silly voice as we go on with the rest of the show in the deep, dark night. This show's very different. It is a sleep podcast that's been around for 11, 12 years, 12 calendar years. It's meant to kind of it's meant to like put you to sleep by just being here for you, like a friend talking to you, where you wake up and you say, I don't remember stopping listening to him, but I did. But that's a different thing. So if you're new, I'm really glad you're here. And I really hope we can help you out. What we got coming up is this is like an intro to kind of introduce you to the podcast. Then there's support. So paying for the podcast is optional. Then a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. And then later on, I'm not sure, I think it'll be a potpourri style episode, maybe like a trending random episode tonight, because I haven't made the episode yet. So I'm glad you're here, really. And if you just see how it goes, right? I don't know what got me in such a, this mood that you're important, but I guess I'm glad because you're important and your sleep's important. And sometimes that just sticks out to me. So I'm really glad you're here. I work really hard and I really hope we can help you fall asleep. You could set your sleep timers for 45, 60 minutes, 30 minutes. But I'm really glad you're here. And we can be here on a regular basis. Because of the people who were already a part of your life. So if you're new or we're only like a little bit a part of your life, it's not important. But if Sleep With Me is a part of your life, like it's in your life, like twice a week, 3 times a week, multiple times a night, we're here because of the people like you that opt in to this show so it can be here for you and everybody else, even the casual listeners. But it's just people that the show is a part of your life that I always say, hey, if you want to opt in, the best ways to do it, support the show directly. Well, I'll talk about it here, whatever Scooch talks about here, I guess. So, yeah, and I'm really hoping I can help everybody here keep you company and fall asleep. Thanks. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep, and they've got some amazing deals coming up. You're going to hear about it at the end of this ad read, so do not miss out. I want you to right now to open up your phone. Just do it with me. I'm going to go to helixsleep.com/sleep, and if I were you, I wouldn't want to, I don't know what your relationship with your bed is right now. I've had a long-term relationship with my Helix mattress. It fits my needs, how I sleep. I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach, but now I'm sleeping more on my back, and I'm relocating, and unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I could ship my mattress because I have to move my stuff before I move. But that's okay. It means I get a new Helix, so I'm going to take the Helix quiz right now, helixsleep.com/sleep. 30 seconds. And you could, okay, 1 or 2 sleepers. 1. Okay, let me put in my email. Put in my name here, give a little bit of information. Okay, what size mattress am I considering? I got that down. All right. I don't know if are you taking this quiz with me at helixsleep.com/sleep? All right, toss. I guess I toss and turn. So I'm going to pick toss and turn. And what kind of firmness? Okay, I'm going to pick my firmness that fits my needs. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get yours, Okay, I'm going to talk about my back there, talk about temperature. All right, I got matched with my mattress. Oh, boy, and it's a different one than I have now just because I made a couple changes to how I sleep. So I'm going to check this out and think about it for my next Helix I'm going to be sleeping in. So take that Helix quiz. It's going to be coming right to your door, but most of all, it'll be a mattress that fits you, your needs, and how you sleep. And the best news is that Helix has amazing deals for Sleep With Me listeners, but only if you use our link. So all you need to do is go to helixsleep.com/sleep for Labor Day early access and get 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. Are you the one person that I'm trying to get a hold of tonight to sign up at Sleep With Me Plus, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus? Here's the ways to find out. Does Sleep With Me make your life better? Okay, great. Do you listen on a regular basis? Okay. Have you decided not, if you've decided not to support the show, then you could just opt out right now. You say, makes my life better. I listen on a regular basis, but yeah, I already decided I'm not going to support the show. Don't worry. I'm not trying to change your mind if you've decided not to support the show. But okay, so you're still with me? Great. You might be the one. Here's some other ways to figure out if you're the one. Okay, have you been listening longer than 6 months? Okay, does Sleep With Me bring you comfort in the deep dark night or help you fall asleep? Okay. Do you listen to Sleep With Me 2 nights a week or more? Okay. All right. So you might be the one then. Okay. What about, do you fall asleep within 45 to 60 minutes of the episode? Or you listen to about that much every night? Okay. Have you listened longer than a year? Oh, okay. You might be the one then. Do you listen 2 nights a week? Okay. 3 nights a week? Okay. Well, boy, you might be the one. You might be the one I'm trying to get a hold of to see if you're still listening and hearing me, to see if you're willing to support the show. Okay, but let's keep going. Do you fall asleep in less than 45 minutes? Do you use a sleep timer? Okay, do you listen 3, 4, 5 nights a week? Okay, you might be the one. Have you been listening longer than 2 years? Oh, okay. Do you listen more than one episode a night? Okay, there's a pretty good chance you're the one then. I mean, you get to choose in the end. Have you been listening longer than 3 years? Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure you're one of the people I'm trying to reach to see if you want to decide if you're the one. Do you listen 6, 7 nights a week? You've been listening longer than 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Do you fall asleep very fast, before the intro's even over, just during the wind down? Okay. You may be the one I'm trying to reach. And if you are the one, really could use your support. Ideally, by supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus. It's designed for super listeners like you. And you can do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus because that'll keep the show going. And here's the thing. I only need you, right? There's 19 other people listening who said yes to a lot of that stuff. But in the end, they said, well, maybe one day, maybe tomorrow. Or no, some of those are yeses, but it's a no, Scoots. And that's okay because I just need the one. So I don't know. Are you the one or not? Now, if you're the one and you say, Scoots, I just can't afford $60 a year. I just can't afford $7 a month. Well, I've been in that spot. Even when I was making the podcast, I've been in that spot. My daughter and I were just talking about the times we didn't have a car and how much walking and how much we took the bus. That's why I was making the show. And, so I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck, but you could still make a difference in the future of the podcast by being a part of the referral program. So if you feel like I'm the one, I want to be the one, You could support the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, or you could be an active member of our referral program, and we talk about it all the time. Those are the ways you could be the one. We could use your help in one of those two places. So thank you so much if you're the one. If you're not, that's fine too. Thanks and good night. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Oh, and hey, if you're listening to this, you know, the referral program, if you're not in a position to financially support the show, is a huge way to support the show and get free access to Sleep With Me Plus. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. But there's also a tiny way anybody can help out the show. It's free. It helps out the show a little bit. And that's following the podcast wherever you listen to it, or commenting if you listen on Spotify or YouTube. It really helps other people discover the show. It helps you stay up to date on the latest episodes. And only 50% of people follow or subscribe. It's free to follow or subscribe in podcast apps. So if you do that, it just gives it helps people discover the show, and it helps you stay up to date on the show. So follow or subscribe in your podcast app. That'll help out the show a little bit. Not necessarily keep us going forever, but I'd appreciate it. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. That's in every podcast app, too. That has a story-only episodes that'll add it to your sleepy repertoire. Thanks, and what do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. That could be thoughts in your mind, thinking thoughts about the past, the present, the future, thoughts, feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally, like feelings you're feeling, physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. You could be going through something or getting over something or in the middle of something, whatever it is. I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of it so you could fall asleep, which is a little bit different. And the only reason I kind of go through some of that stuff or at the top of the show, I can be so, sleep important, is because two things. One, I know how it feels, and I think I talked about that a lot at the beginning of this show. And if it feels for you anything, I mean, I don't know. I think I can identify with some of the things you feel related to sleep. But here's the great news is even if I can't, somewhere in the world, there's someone listening right now, a regular listener who's kind of holding a nice place for you here, who has been through something, and they can relate to exactly or very closely whatever it is that's keeping you awake. We're lucky enough to have that many people, that many caring people who are rooting for you. And they're glad you're here. And all they're rooting for is like, man, I hope this show can help you out like it helped me out. This show's very different. And I didn't know I was looking for something like this. These are the stories I get to hear on a regular basis from listeners. and how good it can feel to just be that person that's welcoming somebody in, like somewhere across the world, that they get you and you get them. They do see you where you are. And like the rest of us, we say, I think I can relate to you, and this person can see you in an indirect way. If you're like an introvert like me, I'd prefer you see me from over there. I'd rather have this tree you could see me, but the tree's going to be between the two of us, and you're across that other side. And they say, okay, no problem. Sleep with me, listeners say, no problem. Matter of fact, I'm like about 3,500 miles away, so plenty of room. And that's all the person, or maybe you're the one doing it, that they say, man, I hope this show can help you out or introduce you to something that can. But if you become a regular listener, that one day, not only did you get the welcoming experience when you first got here, but you also get the experience of being the welcomer. And feeling the positive sides, the positive energy, I guess, really. I don't like using that word that much, but it's true, of something that doesn't always feel good, that there is this positive side to it. And as the welcomee and the welcomer, you get to feel that. And that's important for me. I mean, I usually don't get this guru-like, but it's important to point out. And it's really why I make the show, because the opposite was true, especially when I was a kid and I couldn't sleep. I didn't feel like anybody understood. And I got the sense that they wanted to understand, some people, like my parents and stuff, but that they just couldn't quite grasp it. And that was kind of like a tough feeling, because they say, okay, you want to relate to me, but you can't. And then when you try, you know what I'm saying? I think if you're here, you know what I'm saying. So we get an answer to that here. And that's really magical for me, because I'm not the one doing it. I'm only the one, like, I'm only the middleman, and the middle person. And that's a pretty sweet spot to be in. So I'm glad you're here. I guess, this almost feels like an anniversary episode of the podcast. I don't know. Maybe, no, I don't think we're up to 1,400 yet, but whatever. So the other side of this thing I'm talking about is that you deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need and your life is more manageable, where you could get the sleep you desire and the comfort you desire on a regular basis, and that you don't have to have a bedtime you're dreading. And I hope we could provide that for you or be a part of that. So just see how it goes. Like most people, when they first got here, obviously, if you're listening to this, you're like, what is this? Yeah, it does take some getting used to. The show is very different. I'm very different. So just see how it goes and say, okay, now I kind of get it. I don't quite get I kind of get that I don't quite get it. So just kind of see how it goes. Most regular listeners say, hey, it took 2 or 3 tries for me to get used to the show. Because the way this show works is I send my voice across the deep dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I go off topic. I get mixed up. I forget what I was talking about. Then I go back around. I say, wait a second. What was I talking about? Wait, who, what, where? Like, so, and my voice is not traditionally soothing. So is there a point, like I've already gone, most of the time, my pointless meanders and superfluous tangents are less grounded than this. And that just takes, because if you can't sleep and you found your way to the show, either somebody told you about it or you were searching for it, you're already going to be tired and skeptical and doubtful, because maybe you've tried other stuff to help you fall asleep. And you've heard people making promises or saying, well, this is going to work, or it worked for me. And I found over the years that that's not necessarily true. So I don't make any promises. I say, just see how it goes. And I hope I can help you. And as a matter of fact, I have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. that has other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff on there you could check out, because you still deserve a good night's sleep, whether this podcast helps you out or not. And that's the truth. That's why I have that website set up. Like, that's why over the years you can see all the connections between sleep podcasts, because everybody has a little bit different taste. And so hopefully if this show doesn't work for you, one of those other shows will. And then you'll get all the stuff I was talking about. You could still listen to another show and be that welcoming presence. So I hope that turns out for you. But I hope you try the show a few times, that it does help you. Because most people are like, I had no idea something like this even existed on this planet. Because it's a podcast you kind of just barely listen to. Almost like a TV show you're not paying attention to. But a little bit different. Almost like background noise, but a little bit more engaging. Almost like comedy, but not quite so funny. I'm laughing at the truth. So just see how it goes, because yeah, it's like an out of focus picture, sand running through your hands in a sense, or as I like to refer to it, a rave like many, many, many blocks away, and you hear the thumping and the music, but it's far enough away. You say, huh. It's not too bad or like somebody with a super powerful car system, but they're like 12 blocks away and their car is parked. I mean, I think that's not an archetypal experience, but it kind of is, right? I don't know. Can that be archetypal? I guess it can. Like, so they have the subwoofers, and maybe they have like lights and stuff in their car, but we can't see it because it's like, it's thumping, but it's thumping at a distance. I don't know again, I like to joke that that may not be what Bette Midler was singing about. But I guess she was. From a distance, there's harmony with this car, in this as a metaphor for this podcast. So, yeah, it's at a distance. It's like a noise that would only be soothing at a distance. I think I've been called a person that's only soothing at a distance. I'll take that. The other thing is, this is a sleep podcast. It's not really here to put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep, which is different. There is no pressure to fall asleep with this show. That's one of the most important things I'll say. I'm going to be here. Like, the reason the shows are over an hour, so you don't, like, when I started making the show, I was like, wait, this is too short. If it's anything less than an hour, I'm going to be wondering when it's going to end. And I said, well, I don't want to make a podcast like that. I want to make one where it's like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about it. It's over an hour. And so, yeah, that's one thing. And, yeah, so there's no pressure to fall asleep, because there's people who are listening who can't sleep at all, or who need to listen in for a break during the day. And I'm here to the very end, whether you're awake or asleep, which is another of the paradox of the show. Like, I'll be here to keep you company whether you're listening to me or not, or whether you wake up and you need to listen, or you need to listen tomorrow, or you don't need to listen at all. Because my job is not to put you to sleep. It's to bring you over here to this nice, welcoming place we've established together that doesn't have a lot of pressure on it. Like, no pressure to listen, no pressure to fall asleep. You could just gently observe the nonsense coming out my mouth and see how it goes. What else do you need to know? Oh, structure the show. Oh, no, my job. My job is to be your boar friend, your boar bay, your boar sib, your boar bud, your boar bee, your boars, your boorman, your Boris Borloff, your neighbor, your boar bee, your boar sib, your boar cuz, your boar bruh, your best boar friend forever, to keep you company. That's what a boar friend does. It's like a roommate who doesn't stop talking, but it manages to do it in a calming way for your benefit. So yeah, that's like what I'm here to do. It's just keep you company and distract you, but also in a comforting way. And not just you, all the little parts of you, or at least for me. And again, I know everybody that listens is different, right? But for me, well, last night it was just something, I don't even know what it was. I had and that just happens from time to time, but I can be a little bit, last night I was not in acceptance about it either. Most of the time I am, but last night I had like a shorter sleep window. I was going to bed later than I wanted to, and I think that's what happened. And so, and then I did everything, and I honestly thought it was going to be, it was like, looked like it was going to happen, right? And then it didn't, and then I was a little bit furrowed in brow. But sometimes it's like different parts of me, and even then it was probably something, I don't know what it was, but like sometimes I just got to be like, oh, okay, well, the part of you that's trying to control this, let's try to soothe that. Where other nights it might be something that wants to think or feel or process or whatever. I'm here to distract those things too. So I don't know, but in a way that's somewhat entertaining. So I'm glad you're here. What else? Oh, structure of the show. I'll run through that really quick. I've been trying to go through that quicker than, but in a slow, meandering voice, Scoots. Remember that. But the structure of the show is we structure the show in a very deliberate way to benefit the most amount of people we can. So maybe that's you, or maybe you're somebody that wants to adjust how you listen. You become a regular listener. And I want to meet you where you are. So that's why I run through this. The show starts off with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcome in, like I said at the beginning. Then the show's ad supported. So paying for it's optional. If you prefer something without ads, that's how you get that. Otherwise, the ads are there because it's optional. Then, separate from the support, is a long, meandering intro, which we're like maybe 15 minutes into now. And the intro is meant to introduce what the podcast is. It's a show within a show, totally separate from the support. But I follow a similar structure every time, but every intro is different. Exactly what I talked about earlier, so that whatever those things are that keep you awake, they feel distracted. They don't feel like this is something predictable or cloying or totally repetitive where they can predict what's going to happen. So, but they also feel the familiarity. But the other purpose of the intro is to ease you into bedtime. You could fall asleep during the intro, or you could listen to the show all night long. But the show is designed, this version of the podcast, the main version of the podcast, with the intro to ease you into bedtime. While there is a percentage of people that are asleep during it, most people are getting eased into bedtime. So they're getting ready for bed. They're in bed getting comfortable. They're winding down. They're doing a chill activity so that we have some wind down time. And that's what's been shown to work. And it's worked for me most of the time. And you could set a sleep timer or whatever, 30, 45, 60 minutes. If you want something without the intros, we have a podcast of bedtime stories from Sleep With Me that you could get in any podcast app, or you could upgrade and get a ton of different stuff on Sleep With Me Plus. But at first, just see how this goes. Getting eased into bedtime's pretty nice. May not be for everybody, may not be for you, but try it out. And then try out like having some sort of wind down to work with this podcast to ease you into bedtime. And pander, one of the greatest ones where I pander to pets, you could also pander to your pets. What if you pretend, this is not a joke either, because I was doing it yesterday. Well, I was actually treating my dog like she was a queen last night, and speaking to her that way. Well, yes, my queen. So you could do that, like pretend you're in some sort of service position to your pets and pander to them. It actually is kind of relaxing. As long as they don't take it too far. Koa sometimes does. And she starts to get used to it, and then she'll say, what do you mean? You're not seriously going to pet me for 4 hours? I say, no, my queen, I must rest. So try it out. It's actually pretty nice. There's a lot of different, pet names you could use for your pet. So that's just, I've never recommended a wine, but it's true. That's part of it. It didn't work last night, so maybe I got to reassess. But I don't think it was Koa's fault because she was sleeping with my daughter, so she was sound asleep. So I don't know. But in the end, what I know is I'm glad you're here, and I really hope I can help you fall asleep. Myself and a team of people work really hard on this show. We yearn and strive, really want to help you fall asleep. Thank you again for coming by. And if you decide you want to opt in and be a part of this thing we're doing here together, here's a couple of ways you could do it. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Zocdoc. And I think for me, it's always remembering to leave things to a professional. You know, the algorithms are sending me stuff about eating this stuff, these oils versus those oils. And, you know, I don't know if I should be making some kind of concoction with chia seeds and olive oils and cottage cheese all together, right? Based on Bernie from Cincinnati's input. And using that for my, issue with my hand, maybe I should just put my hands in the hands of a professional and give the algorithms a rest. Whatever your healthcare goals are, whatever your health needs are, with Zocdoc, it's easy. You can find doctors that are right for you and instantly book an appointment. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. Appointments made through Zocdoc also happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. More often than not, you can even get same-day appointments. And with Zocdoc, that's booking in-network appointments with over 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, a good fit for any medical need you have, and are highly rated by verified patients. And like I said, I'm dealing with some stuff with my hands, and I need to find a very specific specialty when I move. And I'm so relieved that I know how to do that. Zocdoc makes it so easy. It gives me such peace of mind. And I hear from listeners all the time, new insurance, new cities, maybe you just need a change. You got to check out Zocdoc. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments. Go to ZocDoc.com/sleep to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/sleep. ZocDoc.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Everybody, it's Scoots here. This is an episode, we've done similar things, but this one is pretty, I don't know what's going to happen. So we've had Ray go through some of my receipts before. And I think I've gone through some old stuff I wrote as a kid before. Because people, like, one of the more popular style of episodes we do is personal essays, but personal essays are not an episode I can just make happen or even intentionally sit down. You know, it has to be somewhat organic for it to work. But so this will be a personal essay style one. I'm hopeful that this will give us some insight. I have in my lap here a collection of index cards and other things, and I'm expecting I'm going to be moving in August, and so right now it's the end of February, and I kind of made an interesting rule for myself because I'm not positive I'm going to move. And I just realized in the past 2 weeks, like, how powerfully one of the main reasons Sleep With Me has worked is because the deadlines for Sleep With Me worked. It was the first time I had a deadline that felt real, that created creative restraints put me in a position where I could create a structure to deliver stuff on a regular basis. And then for some reason I've just struggled to apply that to my life. But now, because I think maybe I struggle a little bit more with imaginary deadlines or open-ended ones. But I'm leaning more and more into it, actually. But so I said, well, if I'm going to move in August, like, what if I pack or have one box of stuff leave my life? Like, organize one box in January, 2 boxes in February, 3 boxes in March, 4 boxes in April, and like organize or donate or like clear out, so that then when August comes, I don't know. And also I have some stuff coming up where, there might be some other hurdles to getting stuff packed and stuff. So I don't know. That's what I'm doing now. And so in February, the second half of February, I've been going through either boxes that the two or three times I've moved, I've just never unpacked. And that's where some of the stuff comes from, that it probably hasn't even been out of a box in at least definitely at least 12 years. And possibly just went from one box to another in the past 25 years, maybe. So what I think the index cards are, but I didn't want to over prepare, are from a class I took in college about making speeches. So let me start with those index cards and then organize them, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we have a fairly large stack of them, and they even have my own feedback on them, I think. So, and I don't know, maybe these may be from different things I made. There's different color inks. So first I'm going to organize them by ink, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm back. I think that I may have been able to organize them into 3 different stacks, and I'm only glancing at them, so I don't know for sure, but my suspicion is, or I'm pretty certain at least one of them, if not all of these, are presentations I made in a class. It looks like the class was called Effective Speaking, which I would have taken as an elective in my senior year of college. And here's a few things. Well, no, because maybe it was the same teacher, but maybe not. It would have been a class I took at night at the School of Business, which I was not enrolled in, but you could take electives there. And I remember taking a few different classes over the 2 semesters of my senior year because I had quite a few electives I could do. And I guess I wanted to take classes that were once a week for a long time and weren't in the mornings. So that narrowed my list, and that that somewhat appealed to me. So I know I took a class on public relations, which we did do an episode about, the term paper that made up the majority of our grade for that class. I remember taking another class where I was interviewed, and that may be this class. So I don't think it is, where a teacher, I even had to do a job interview with the teacher in front of the class, and it went really well. And then there was this class, Effective Speaking, which in my mind, I pictured in the same classroom as the public relations class with the same teacher. But I don't know. Maybe one day I'll find my transcript and find out. But what I did was I was so of all, the podcast has helped me, Making Sleep with Me has helped me be a little bit more, come out of my shell, right? And so even when I was at school, and even when I was kind of I've always been a quiet, reserved person. I mean, sometimes I'd be loud or whatever. But even when I was in my cups, as they say, I mostly tended to be reserved and whatever. We don't need to overanalyze that, but that was just my style. Part of it was natural. Part of it is who I am. And then part of it was a little bit of backing off from the world. But deep inside me, the person that makes this podcast has always been there. And so this is kind of funny because I have also been a person that's overly serious or led with an overly serious side, which still comes across in the podcast, or particularly me trying to keep the podcast sustainable is the biggest struggle, because it's oh, this is serious, but so it does come up, or where it's man, how am I going to manage all this, right? I don't know if you've ever had that, like the weight of the world type feelings, but I had that a lot. I still do. So that added to my seriousness and reservedness. And then I've always kind of not been great at like the whole relationship with anybody I identify as an authority figure. So that's made things unnecessarily complicated, I guess. And in college, it was unnecessarily complicated. And then also I was like doing a lot of escapism. I probably had some other stuff I could have been getting dealt with and help with too. But I still managed to enjoy myself and get some stuff out of it. And these elective classes were a great opportunity. But what's funny is how I view myself and how the world views myself, and how we are maybe in these repetitive loops that we can slowly grow and make the loops more loopy than take the right angles out of them. And I don't know exactly what happened in this class, but at some point, either with the first or second assignment, it was very open, like as far as like, okay, you got to make this there was rules, right? But we would, each class or each couple classes as a part of your grade, you had to make a presentation in front of the whole class. Now, the good thing was most people, and I think I took this because I said, well, this is something I know I want to be able to express myself more, particularly publicly, but it's something I don't have a lot of comfort with. And then I also knew I had a goofy sense of humor. And so in some sense, this class gave me this freedom and then a freedom to write. And again, a deadline to write and a context to write stuff. And then a requirement to deliver it, which, that's like the magic of deadlines right there. Now, I can tell you that the way I perceived most of my presentations was they weren't quite there because I was just so caught up in my own feelings and my feelings of anxiety and nervousness. I'll just say it out loud. And usually I try to shift around the podcast, but this is in a good way, and in a growth way. But then I would give feedback from the people that I knew in the class or that I would encounter, and they'd be like, that's wild, because everybody else was taking it seriously and doing serious stuff, where I was like taking it seriously and doing goofy stuff. And so the first one is that I have notes from, that I have all the cards, it looks like. And I guess you had to quote people. Maybe you had to have references. They're made up references clearly in this. And so I'll just go through this, but as a Sleep With Me episode. So this one is about keeping your smile fresh and clean. And I guess it was called, I don't have the title here, but let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons to keep your mouth fresh and clean. And so I was supposed to I delivered these in a serious way. So yeah, let me go off note card 1. These are one-sided note cards. And it says in Roman numeral 1. So an exclusive interview held in 1996 with the director of the Brooklyn Fresh Mouth Center, and then it has a name of one of my roommates. In 1996, I was very surprised to learn that keeping your mouth fresh and clean will require both. So this was an instructive one. We had to show how to do something and why, maybe. But I was very surprised to learn it will require both a toothbrush and a toothpaste, as well as a splash of water. Now, just so you know, there's many brands and styles available, as all of us know. And choosing your equipment is at your discretion. And I think I actually did research this because I can remember this was probably after I wrote that public relations one. And so I learned how to use these online databases that at this time you could only use at the library, where you could really do powerful searches. because I remember trying to figure out what is the best brush. Should it be soft, medium, or firm? And I'm pretty sure at that time it was inconclusive, just for your own reassurance. But I put a soft bristled brush, toothpaste with fluoride is suggested. And that is point number 1. Point number 2. Now that you have the tools for brushing, ... And this is somebody from this. So I must have had a bibliography because it says chart ran from 1914 or 1984 or 1994. Reminds us to take it easy. Oh no, it must be 94 because it says, these plastic bristles, on the brush, you want to be kind to your gums, and you don't want to overdo it with force. You also have enamel and roots that need good care. By the way, according to my source here, 2 out of 3 people brush too hard. And the best way to avoid this is to use gentle circular strokes with a soft bristled brush. So that may have been where I got the brush soft bristles from. Now that's point number 2. And I probably set this up by talking about, whatever that I don't know what my routine was like back then. It's funny, though now, and this has only been, at some point, and we all went through that early, like 2019, 2020, 2021 together, right? And our habits and stuff changed. And then my year of 2024, and it's seeming like 2025, have offered like endless growth opportunities that just don't seem to cease. And at some point, like, she spent a lot of time in 2024 at my parents' condo in Florida. And what I discovered was, because it was like every day would be full of new growth opportunities. And I really became where I got to lean into some of these healthy routines I have at night, in the morning, and, other ones that I try to practice. And so, but one of the new ones I discovered was because it was so, like, up until, like, working from home, as I have for a long time, like, I always would I would get up and drink coffee first and then take care of my fresh and healthiness in my mouth after. But then this time I spent in Florida in 2024, I don't know, I really focused on my routine. And a lot of these routines that the science backs this up, which is surprising though, is making them mechanical and linked to one another. And somehow, I just made it linked to where, the first thing I did, I had a couple things I do while I'm still in bed. But then as soon as I got out of bed, I would say hi to the WC, and then I would wash my hands, and then I would starting then, so probably January 2024, it may have happened earlier, but this is just how I'm retelling it and remembering it now. Then I would brush my teeth and wash my face, and also put a screen on my face, because I think in Florida what I would do is then I would go outside to do my morning routine, which I do here, but it's normally not quite as sunny as it was in Florida. But I've been managed to continue that routine now, where it's like the first thing I do, and I like it, and I think it's a good thing. Then I know, then it's done. So that's a modern day tangent. So back to Scoots in the 90s here. Point 3, while brushing is considered necessary for a shiny, freshy mouth, using the string between your teeth is just as important. If you want to use, to maintain prime level of freshness and goodness, Oh, it is imperative. It changed important to imperative there. Maybe a power word. Oh, I used important earlier. Wow, Scooch, you were really working hard at this class. And this is according to Knowlton from 1995. So there must be, there's not a bibliographer on these cards, but I'm sure I had to turn in an outline. You know, not doing that is not, like, it has been shown, studies have shown it's not for the best. Now, as with brush and paste, there's plenty of types of string, and like there was tape, which was new. This was right when, like Seinfeld did an episode about glide, which I guess they come in a tape and a string too now. And so why don't you just experiment until you find something you prefer? So that's 3. This is where I think, this is very Scoots. I think I haven't read it, but I'm just scanning it. And I got a feeling like maybe I'll talk about, but, okay. Number 4, the reason we must take good care to be, have freshness and good care is in order, because there's a lot of different good reasons. And Squires in 1993 gave some interesting info about this. And let's see if I could read this. You know, as children, we watched a lot of cartoons, and your professionals, your parents said that you're gonna. This is actually proven false, according to Squires in 1993, or depending on how good my research was. That stuff of eating, even though you're watching all day long cartoons with advertisements about stuff that tastes oh so sweet, that was proven false through research, that's just not true. Because it's equal, and again, I'm not saying this is something I wrote, I'm just rereading it. I wouldn't base any decisions on it. But it's been shown that anything you consume has the same impact if you're not maintaining a good habits. It's not what you have, but how often. And it's important to, I did a lot of stuff like limiting something. I made some changes, added some stuff. But it's important, and I changed this here to, maintain these healthy habits, check in with the professional at least twice a year. So I think the main point on that one that would have been humorous is that everybody could have related to the fact that they were told, well, one, you watch all these ads for stuff that tasted great and was sweet. Then you were told, if you eat sweet stuff, that's going to be, it was at school too. That was the thing that was causing it. But that this study that I'm quoting at least, said, no, everything is equal, actually. Whether that's true or not, thing. Okay, so this is 5. This is the last card that I have here, at least. Okay, now you know that it's important, but it's not always convenient. In Woods in 1992 recommended chewing sugarless gum. This helps reduce things because it stimulates movement, and that offers a protection. Oh, and the saliva. Oh, it offers production of saliva. I never thought you'd hear that on a sleep podcast, but here we are. Many people request personal essay episodes, so and that saliva production, which is stimulated by chewing the gum, helps doing a little natural thingamajig. And stuff falls off of your shiny things, making them somewhat refreshed. This can always be helpful for a person on the run or who feels busy. Okay, so that was that one. I think, well, maybe not. Maybe that was the first one I did. That does seem like it. This one has a lot more reminders. So I have one with blue pen, and one, I'm not sure these are going to be the same or not, but we'll go with, okay, this is, yeah, okay, so the third one built on the first two. So this is maybe about children's books. This is interesting, and it has more pages. Okay, so this is the intro, number one, and at the bottom it reminds me, go slow. Maybe was something about a dictionary? Okay, it says intro. If you've ever seen the big book, been berated, so accidentally using alliteration there, or talk to someone who forgot night after night to drink or in castle, you've experienced that they don't brush. I have been quality. Oh, yeah, I've missed a brushing, brush. To take the time for superior care. That's my purpose. Okay, I guess these two aren't related because. Okay, so just so you know, like, this is like this is like formative scoots. Wow, so I think this may be. I don't know where this is coming from, so I don't know that 1 and 2 are related. But it says, page 2, leaving the world where I can drink until I can pass out and begin a new stage of existence where I experience new challenges and pleasures. Which will someday lead to... me being a parent, these visions pushed me to action. I tried to remember how I was a sibling to my younger siblings. And suddenly it came to my attention, children's books, and it says ×2, so maybe I'm supposed to say children's books. This was the answer, and this mission became my speech. Interesting. I don't know. Plus, we missed page 1, so I don't know what your setup was. I mean, could that be it? If you've ever seen the big book, been berated, or talked to someone who forgot after a night of drinking, and eating White Castle. Okay, maybe that was the intro for this one. All right, my purpose here. Okay, so children's books. This was my answer, my mission for my speech. My purpose, therefore, will be to help prepare you for what may lie ahead by giving you 8 reviews of a variety of I don't remember making this speech. I remember the dental one, and I remember one about why you should date me. It was one of the other ones I gave. And, it should have actually been delivered to people in the class, but that's how ungrounded a person I was, but, I don't remember this one, so this would be really interesting, by giving you 8 reviews of a variety of children's books, that include different, topics, including being up at night, babysitters, computers, learning, history, poetry, song, and even curiosity. So instead of toiling with your inner self as I did, relax and let me do the work. Okay, we're missing 4, so it goes straight to 5. It's funny because I wrote this when I was in 1995, 1996. So if you have what does that say? Morals and entertainment. Okay, this is 1995. Span is the I don't know if that's the bibliography thing. But what if Scoots has a daughter and you're looking for morals and entertainment? The Babysitter's Club series of books written by Anne Martin can supply plenty of entertainment. There are over 200 titles, and new ones are always coming out. Sales have reached 125 million copies, as Martin is doing something right. So that's interesting. That's cool. Okay, that's but we're missing 4, but that's fine. Okay, then we go to 6. In contrast to babysitters, computers as sitters is something few, as Keeling 1995 describes. A Very Personal Computer by Justine Randall. And sometimes I wonder if I make this stuff up. This is a story about a 12-year-old, and they're going through a lot, and they're living with their grandfather and their father, who's having a very tough time. And he turns to a computer for support, and in return, it comes to life. And the computer takes him on fun and entertaining adventures. This book will definitely entertain kids interested in technology. Okay, was that 6? Oh, it was. Okay, so the next one is 7. If you're looking for fun and education, Mike Dorita, October 1995, reviews Joanne Cole's The Magic School Bus. There's no way that takes on, visits a storm and describes its unique way of teaching. Sometimes, yeah, so I think maybe I made some of this up. The book features the educational misadventures of Miss Frizzle in her class on the Magic School Bus. Using pictures, text, and fun, this book teaches about the earth, oceans, and electricity. I don't know. I have to look up if these books are just like that. Scooter, I created a scooter version of reality. But it was funny, is then 1990, like a year later, so I'd be like reading The Magic School Bus with first and second graders when I was second grade teacher's aide. Okay, this comes in at 8. While learning kids might want to find out about history, well, Julian Eli, 1995, describes My Story, edited by Leighton Coleman, which is a tale told by Teddy Bear Polar, who's on a famous ship. And this book is based on a diary written by someone who was on the same ship. And this can be for kids and parents, since it gives a new perspective on a major historical event. In another 1995 Derrida article, Judith Forst's, this is Scoots, this is like, I'm just reading through, I'm sleepifying all this. I don't know if this is real either. Judith Forst's Sad Underwear and Other Complications, a book of poetry, is described. A wide variety of styles and emotions can be found in the book. Verost's style possesses rhyme and rhythm while still being entertaining and funny. Here's a taste of her poetry. Okay, this one's pretty funny. I don't know if this is like real, but it's about a baby sister and how much she loves her. Also that she wants a dog. So it's funny. I'll have to look it up. Okay, finally, my favorite character, Curious George, has yet another feature in Publishers Weekly 1987. This pop-up book dedicates a page to almost every book in Curious George's series written by Margaret Ray. There's where he meets the man in the yellow hat. He tries to fly. He calls people on the phone. and the climax where George floats away with a handful of balloons. Okay, this one I think is 4. This was earlier. There's also books you read after dark. Webster 1995 talks about how Storr's autumnal tales have risen in popularity. And autumnal tales, even in non-autumnal season, are favorites of lots of kids. Webster suggests Maurice Sendak's Outside Over There with the heroine Ida. And Ida uses bravery, responsibility on her adventure. Sound fun, along with some good morals taught. Okay, this continues the Curious George part, though. As George and the balloons drift into the sunset, so will all your child care worries. If you simply remember these 8 books, they will nourish your child's mind and make you the parent Dr. Spock dreams of. Even if I may be exaggerating a bit, books about lots of different subjects and George will still be handy someday. Okay, so let me just put 4 back in there. All right, that was another speech that I made. Okay, so this is the next one. I have no idea what we're in for. Intro. I took you to the promised land of fresh mouth, and then to the center of my soul for children's books. For a final speech, I was faced with an impasse, and I decided, and then I crossed out, as the rock and rollers say, I decided to, revision, look at myself from the outside in order to discover my speech topic. What I saw, this is so truthful too. So what I saw very surprised me very much so, and I decided, my internal critic said hello. And I started to look and analyze my imperfections. This process wavered, impacted my esteem level. And self-esteem is something that everyone needs and can use. But if you've ever had it go down like I did preparing this speech, you might know how important it is to recover it. So this is just seems like some sort of setup. So basically, well, we'll just keep going. The best way I figured I could regain my self-esteem was to write a speech about it. So I asked 10 people I know why everyone in effective speaking should love and praise me. And their answers, without a doubt, have driven my esteem to new heights. So this is probably like a joke within a joke, too. The purpose of my speech, and I will give you many unbiased and objective reasons why this class should love and praise me. Not all will be positive or flattering, but most should be entertaining, so pay attention and get ready to love. And before, I guess you had to have a visual aid. Before going to the experts, observe my visual aid, which is myself, here present with you. And combine this, and then I put imperfect vision, and I cross it out and I just put vision with the characteristics presented by my sources, and you will be on the road to your blissful appreciation of me. Who would know me better than a roommate of 3 years? Well, my roommate of 3 years out of 4 said this about me. Living with him has made my patience stronger than anyone on earth. And now I can feel I can endure anything in life. Not bad, huh? Not a bad review. A mother knows, mother knows her son closer than any roommate could. So this is from my mom. My son, while he spends too much time on social, non-positive things, is a good-hearted person with a lot to offer the world. I just wish he would take some time to be quiet and relax. Okay, so that was my mom's opinion. What is this one? Okay, studying philosophy and theology can help people form an objective view of a person. So I spoke to someone that's getting their master's in philosophy and theology who knows me. This must have been real, because he said, Andrew's fun to be with and is open to other people and new experiences. Well, that's my kind of answer there. Holy cow. Now, living with someone for 2 years can be an interesting experience as well. And I happen to live with two twin brothers. They're fraternal twins, and they each gave me a quick review. Brother one said his humor is therapeutic and he's particularly well behaved around pets. And these are made up, though, because this is the other brother said, I'm an accounting major, and my calculations are that he's great. And then a shorter-term roommate, but friend and mentor, says, because of him, I've never had to wait at White Castle alone. What a humanitarian this guy is, that I'm talking about right now. Now, you also would want to speak to my siblings about me. So first I talked to one of my brothers who said he's always trying to help me. Whenever I have a question, I ask him. And anytime me and my friends, maybe we're not 21. Oh, never mind. Let's keep moving on. Now, in order to be objective, I did try to put in some reviews that are non-positive, and some critical thoughts about me as well. My father does not always have positive things to say about me, and that I'm not living up to my potential and not using my time well, though he does admit I do have some redeeming qualities. And I would also like to say that he made the first comments when I was asking for money. So you could see the kind of old-fashioned jokiness there that I was trying to go for. It's too bad I took a break from whenever I did this till 28 years later or something. But here we are. It's cool. You can always restart. You can always start again. That's a present day tangent. Sorry. Another one of my younger brothers, had critical things to say. He's self-centered, and I don't know that he has any positive qualities. These comments, though, were also made after I was asking to borrow money. Finally, I took into some anonymous opinions in an inbox, and this one came from a student who said anonymously, he's a bit like those, in a sleep podcast, you have to change it, but he's a bit like the characters in Shakespearean, that are the sidekicks that act in jest, but I can't help but love him. And now you come to see the majority of my sources love, or at least have respect for me, and you should listen to their advice. So in summary, love and praise me. Thank you. So yeah, that's it. I guess those were the three speeches I made. I guess I guess maybe I changed it from why you should date me to why everyone should love and praise me. But what's interesting is that I didn't do that was kind of covering up that I didn't have, my critic was pretty powerful. And they actually encountered someone from that class. I don't know if it was after that speech or another one, who told me how great it was. And I was like, man, I was so how I imagined when I was writing it. and then the delivery were not matching up, right? Like when I deliver stuff and write it, like I'm also imagining it being like the greatest speech ever given in a class called Effective Speaking. And while I think it was memorable because it was so different, she was expressing her appreciation, but I was so caught up in my own feelings that I didn't realize, wait a second, this is like maybe an overture to like having a cup of coffee or something. And I just said, because it was in the stairway, and I was like, okay, I gotta go though, bye. So yeah, that's a little bit of a couple things. Just trying to think if I have anything else that's interesting here that I could quote. Yeah, I think that's it for now. I mean, that was like, so those were 3 speeches I made back in the day. I don't know, but hopefully they put you to sleep, and I'll keep going through my old stuff. And, this could be like, this will probably be a series that comes out once a couple times a year, but yeah, thanks so much, and good night.